everyone. So I'm Chelsea, and today I'm going to be talking to you about the misconceptions about single sex private schools, specifically all girls. Now, I want to talk about this because I went to an all girls private school from the age of 4.5 to when I graduated. So I was there a total of 14 years. Now, when I tell people this, they're either like, oh my God, they are so completely confused, weirded out, shocked. It's like a whole weird concept to most people. I'm going to go over a couple of misconceptions and talk about why they're untrue or speak about why they are true and how I experienced them. Now, I can pretty much speak for most people in my position because I was in a single sex private school for so long. I graduated with a class of 64 girls, which is a really small number. 25 of us had been together since I was 4. So I know all of them better than they probably know themselves. We're pretty much family at this point, and we all grew up in the same area, just a very, very small community. So I'm going to start by talking about one of the first and biggest misconceptions about private school girls. Now, the first question I always get when I tell people that I went to a single sex private school is, are you a lesbian? First of all, I don't really understand this question because I don't understand why you would choose a school based on your sexual orientation. I'm not a lesbian, I'm heterosexual, but I don't see why that would be like the first question someone would ask. And it always, I mean, 9 times out of 10 is the first question I get when I tell people I went to an all girls school is either, are you a lesbian? Or is everyone in your class lesbian? And people ask this as a serious question. Does that make any sense? Would I have a class of all lesbians? No, absolutely not. I mean, maybe there are a lot, but no more than somebody in a public school or a co-ed school. So that right off the bat, just don't ask people that. It's a completely ignorant question. I mean, it doesn't really make sense to me at all. Number 2, is my life like Gossip Girl? No. I can understand where people can see this as, oh, you went to a single sex uniform school. Yes, I did wear a uniform for 14 years. I did wear a kilt, which is one of the fold over plaid skirts, very similar to Gossip Girl. And I had to wear a white polo shirt. And when it got cold, I could wear leggings and I had to wear just tennis shoes. I could wear really any shoes I wanted when I got older. I wear like Sperry's or boat shoes, but I never had to wear like saddle shoes or anything like that. There was a private school around me that did have to wear saddle shoes, but I didn't. I guess I can talk about this in a couple ways. First of all, the drama in Gossip Girl, like the student teacher relationships, so completely far off from anything that I experienced in my high school. Now, in Gossip Girl, and this is more pertaining to the uniforms, people ask me if I dressed like they do in Gossip Girl. If any of you watch Gossip Girl, you would know that they essentially wear stilettos to class, and the only basis of their uniform is their kilt. They wear sweaters, like Serena, the main character, she wears like glitter cardigans. My uniform was ugly, and it is ugly. Now, some people are like, wow, how did you wear a uniform for 14 years? And I can say this, and I can speak for everyone in my grade. Uniforms are the most amazing invention ever. I could get up at 7 o'clock and be out the door, ready to go, 7:10. Flat out. You put the same thing on every day, so incredibly easy. I don't understand why anyone wouldn't want that. I don't even have to worry about what I'm wearing. It's not like I'm trying to impress anyone, it's school. So, that in itself, totally unlike Gossip Girl, drama not like Gossip Girl. The only thing was that my kilt looked similar to the girls in Gossip Girl, but wasn't showing my butt. Do you know how to talk to boys? What? I get this question so much, and I get it seriously too. Do you know how to talk to boys? No, I don't. Now, does that sound like a valid question? Absolutely not. But do I get it? Yes. just because I sat in a classroom with all girls does not mean that I have not seen a boy or spoken to one. In fact, most of my friends outside of school were boys. I'm not socially inept. Now, coming from my community, I can say for a fact that I'm possibly more confident around guys than girls I know that went to public school because I was in an environment where I was uninhibited in every way, shape, and form. I would yell across the room to my friends. I mean, who has a tampon? You just yell that in school. Nobody cares. And so I don't mind talking about that around anybody else. I wore a uniform 5 days a week, so I'm used to sort of looking ugly essentially. No problem. And I mean, nothing's off limits in an all girls school because you're all girls, you all end up on the same cycle. I mean, it's like a totally girl environment that's essentially non-girly because you're all in uniforms and you have no one to impress. So, you're pretty comfortable walking around. So, with that said, how did I meet boys? Now, I grew up in a town where there were a lot of single sex private schools around me. There were about seven in a pretty much 5 mile radius. And so there was like single sex girls schools and single sex guy schools, and we do pretty much everything together. So, yes, I do know boys, and yes, I know how to talk to them. The next thing is, was I sent there because I did something bad? Now, I actually heard this from my roommate, and I had never heard this before, and I was really interested that she said that. No, I was not sent to my school because I did something bad. My parents simply wanted to get a good education. The public school system in Baltimore County, where I'm from, is one of the worst public school systems in the nation. I know plenty of people that go to public schools have a great experience, but my parents felt really strongly about sending me to an independent school. That's why there are so many in my area. Where I grew up, the single sex private schools and independent schools, we have the most of them per capita in the nation. So it's really common to go to a private school in my area. So essentially, if you have misconceptions about private school girls, I hope that I helped you in disproving them or showing you that they might be true. So I hope that this was helpful and informative and look forward to seeing the next video. Thanks!